everyone. This is Saman Patra, and
So, Muskan ji, namaste, welcome.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
how are you?
I'm good. आप कैसे हैं? How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. So, first of all, thank you for joining in today. Okay,
Thank you.
and yeah, I have been waiting forward for this conversation. Okay. So, Muskan ji, before even we start today's session, please introduce yourself so that everybody can know, आपके बारे में सब जानना चाहेंगे.
For sure. So basically, I am a biotechnology graduate. I have done my biotechnology from Thapar University. I was
Mm-hmm.
just preparing for my interviews and job only, and but during quarantine time, I started doing yoga. And
Mm-hmm.
now then I dropped my job, and then I'm now a full-time yoga instructor. I also own a yoga studio in Shimla as well.
Okay, great. Uh, तो ये जर्नी स्टार्ट कैसे हुई तो आपने बोला क्वारंटाइन ऑफ दिस थिंग सो हाउ डिड द जर्नी स्टार्टेड
Yeah,
एक्चुअली
so I'll just keep it very short and crisp. So during quarantine, like others were, getting like motivated to do any physical activity, I just opened my YouTube and I was like, I'll do yoga. So my mother told me, don't do it from the YouTube. I know a teacher and you can like, learn from that teacher. So he
ओके
is in Shimla. He was in Shimla only. So we learned online. I was like very unfit. I had PCOD as well. I still have PCOS till now, but it is better. And that time I had like two stones in my left ureter as well. So he started making me doing yoga and all. I had zero interest. I was just doing it for the sake of, doing it. So
या
then I didn't take any medications or anything for my kidney stones. It just went away naturally. So,
ओके
yeah. So then one day my teacher called me and he's like, you need to perform in Doordarshan. You have to give a live demonstration in Doordarshan. So I was like, okay. So I have like, I don't have any fear of cameras and all. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm very confident from the school only. So
ओके
I performed there and like everybody liked me. They took my number as well and they contacted me further for live demonstrations as well. So there was this one
ओके
picture my, teacher like clicked and that was the only picture in that asana only. Like when I started doing yoga, I had that picture as well. And then he took like a photograph of me doing the same asana when I was performing live on Doordarshan. So I was like, oh my
ओके
God, that's like tremendous progress. In the first picture, I was not able to touch my head to the ground. And in the other picture, I was like, doing like a 180-degree split. So I didn't even realize that I was doing it. So I was like,
राइट
okay, I'll like practice it. So my main goal then became to do the front splits. I used to practice. I used to see videos on YouTube. So I didn't know okay, what exactly yoga is. My only goal was to do the physical action. That was the split. So I started. So I
ग्रेट
when I achieved it, it was of course a very big deal for me because not a lot of people can do it.
या
So yeah, so there was nothing that I had to make career out of it or like anything. Then I started doing my internship in pharmaceuticals in Baddi. I was in the microbiology department. Still, I used to practice yoga half an hour. Then one random day, like during my internship time, I thought let's start. I didn't know, like, how to teach, like how all of this work. So I just randomly
या
made a poster. My brother made a poster. I put it on Instagram, and I had my first client from Delhi. So I started teaching and she liked the first class and she joined my classes. So that was the time when I started to teach. But then I like to gain knowledge and all. The next month I went to Rishikesh. That was the time when I knew that I don't want to leave yoga because
ओके
I was in Rishikesh for like a month where for my teacher training course. So then I understood that yoga is not, just the physical postures, you know, just doing the splits. It has much more meaning to it. So yeah, I was preparing for my job interviews. I got placed in March and I don't know, I think it randomly, I still don't know like why my decision was like I was not like I don't want to do the job but I want to do the yoga thing because ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं खुश नहीं थी what I was doing. I was doing biotechnology. That was also my decision only to do it. And I was pretty
या
happy doing it and I liked it also. But I think वो जो कहते हैं ना कि whatever is written in your fate, whatever is God's plan, it has to be there. आप कुछ रोक ही नहीं सकते. मेरे को प्लेसमेंट
True.
चाहिए थी, मुझे प्लेसमेंट भी मिल गई। ठीक है, पर एक दिन रैंडमली, आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर, अगस्त में मेरी प्लेसमेंट थी। आई हैड टू गो टू द बैंगलोर एंड देन आई सेड कि मुझे नहीं करना है ये। आई
Mhm.
नहीं करा। दैट्स इट, दैट्स हाउ
I completely
started.
understand.
Yeah, then I started posting regularly on Instagram for
Mhm.
that time, and that's how I gained a bunch of followers also, which I'm still not regular in there. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's how yoga journey started basically.
Great, great. I'd add few couple of things over here. Sometimes, we talk about it can be any career, okay? Sometimes what happens, we choose or decide to do something in life, but sometimes, life have different plans for us.
Definitely.
और वो चीज रैंडमली होती
Yeah.
है, ठीक है, वो रैंडमली होती है. You don't pick those careers pick you,
Yeah, yeah. If
right?
somebody asked me also, like a lot of people ask me, how did you choose yoga? Like, how did yoga happen to you, and why did you choose like yoga as a career? So I just
Yeah,
say like it's not me who chose, like it was my career who chose me. I say the same thing as well.
yeah. It happens. It happens the same way. Okay. Uh, so you stay in Shimla, I believe.
Yes,
Okay.
Shimla.
Uh, so when you talk about I'm sure that you have traveled a couple of places in India and abroad in your journey in this journey of yoga, right?
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
what difference do you find, okay, in terms of yoga? How do you see how do you see India and the outer part of sorry, outer part of the world, acceptance of yoga in India and abroad?
I personally feel the growth of yoga in India has just now started it, like, during the quarantine time. So my
Mhm.
first ever international trip was in Thailand only, where I learned aerial dance, and that was the only time. It was not just yoga as well, but people were a lot more, like, disciplined and consistent about these things as well. I think in India it is just more about the studies and all. So when I was in Rishikesh as well, I saw a lot of foreigners and all who were very inclined towards Hinduism and all, which our
Yeah.
generation, or I think we Indians are not. So they knew every
Okay.
mantra as well, everything. They were keen to learn yoga, like the ancient yoga, how it is originated, whatever, like how, we worship in the temples, what are the bhajans and all, which we don't have any interest in. So that was the
Yeah.
major difference. And when I was in Thailand, what one thing which amazed me was they like Ganesh Bhagwan was their ideal god there.
Okay.
Whole country worships Ganesh Bhagwan there. And
Okay.
rather than studies, like every activity, be it gymnastics or be it yoga or gym, they're very
Hmm.
keen and disciplined towards whatever they do, which I didn't
Okay.
find in India. Yes.
I think we have a very strong cultural value system since ancient ages. Okay.
Yeah,
But somewhere down the line, with generations passed on, we have forgotten our roots. So I think,
definitely.
हाँ, तो हमें लगता है ना कि yoga is something which Western से आया हुआ है. No, most of the yoga, be it any other spiritual factors, everything was started from India.
Yes,
ठीक है?
yes,
Now,
of course.
yeah, now people have learned from India and they're spreading across the entire world, right? Sorry. तो मुस्कान जी मुझे एक चीज बताइए, how do you relate yoga with mental health and how it have helped you?
So first, I really thought, yoga was just about doing the physical asanas and all. But
Mhm.
then, when you start to practice it with the breathing and all, and then, like, the main basic definition of yoga helps you to, balance your body, mind, and soul. It is like that. So I
Yeah.
knew like this is the definition, but I didn't know, how it helps you like that. I
Hmm.
knew that there was a thing called meditation, but without doing meditation as well, you like it can help you in a way. But that was a time I didn't know, how it the physical part can also help you achieve that. So, as you start doing the physical asanas or anything, it requires a lot of patience. The pain you
Yeah.
get in physical asana, whether we post it on Instagram, smiling and all, but it gives like it gives you pain. There is no asana, where you cannot feel any like strength or anything in your muscles and all. I think
Yeah.
that is the time which helps, if you use it metaphorically, that it is like if you compare it with the physical pain, physical world, the chaos
Mhm.
and everything. And when you do the asana, the pain you get, and the कंसंट्रेशन द फोकस, और आपको पता होता है कि नहीं, आपको अचीव करना ही करना है, कोई बात नहीं, आप प्रैक्टिस करते रहोगे तो एक टाइम ये पेन कम भी हो जाएगी, और वो हो जाती है. तो इफ यू रिलेट इट
Right.
लाइक दैट with the life, कि ups and downs आते रहते हैं, it's just a part of it, you'll go through it, and then it
Yeah. True.
makes you like patient also, because to achieve one asana you need a lot of time to achieve it. Like every body
Absolutely.
type is, for example, if for like I did the splits in like few months, there are few teachers also who cannot do it. I cannot do the handstand, or I cannot do, so some things or the other, whether I'm a yoga practitioner
Mm.
as well. So if you compare it with life as well, सबकी problems different होती है, किसकी कितनी जल्दी में चले जाती है, किसी को थोड़ा सा
Mhm.
time लगता है. I think the physical part also helps there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so exactly. So then yoga has like the pranayama and meditation also. I personally feel you cannot meditate when you cannot, when you don't practice the asana and the pranayama part, because
Mhm.
किसी भी एक घर को बनाने के लिए you need the basis of it. And to
Yeah.
do meditation, which looks like very easy, like you're sitting in a posture, closing your eyes, which is the hardest thing to do. So for that,
True.
you need to practice the asana part and the pranayama part.